Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we will talk about the explosive and humiliating moment. Steffy Forrester publicly fires Ivy and the real-life pregnancy of Ashleigh Brewer that caused this epic soap opera exit. And let me just start by saying wow. Just wow, because we all knew this was coming. But I don't think any of us realized just how brutal it was going to be. So we have been watching Ivy Forrester pull the strings for weeks now, and it has been exhausting. Honestly, just watching her manipulate her own niece, stealing that letter, hiding that WE necklace. And for what? Because she has some weird vendetta against the Spencer family. But this week, it all finally blew up. And it blew up in the most spectacular way possible. So Daphne Rose Walton finally did the right thing. And thank God for Daphne, because somebody had to step up. Carter told her to stay out of it. He really did. He wanted her to just keep her head down and focus on their own lives. Especially with the negative pregnancy test and all the emotional stuff they are dealing with at home. But Daphne just couldn't live with the guilt anymore. So she corners Elektra right there at Forrester Creations. And she just spills everything, every dirty little secret. And you can just imagine the look on Elektra's face. Because Elektra trusted Ivy. Ivy was her rock. Or so she thought. But Daphne just lays it all out. The letter, the necklace, the whole sick plot to push her away from Will and straight into RJ's arms. Because Ivy decided she knew what was best. And Elektra is just horrified. Like, completely shattered. Because how do you even process that? Your own aunt, blood, doing something so incredibly cruel. So Elektra goes straight to Ivy, and she demands answers. And this is the part that just makes my blood boil. Because Ivy doesn't even flinch. Not even a little bit. She just stands there. And she defends herself. She tells Elektra that she did it for her own good. That Will is just another Spencer. And he will ruin her life. And Ivy literally says she would do it all over again. Zero guilt, zero shame. Just straight up sociopathic behavior. And I am just sitting there screaming at my screen. Because who does that? But here is where things take a massive turn. Because Steffy Forrester enters the chat. And let me tell you, Steffy is not in the mood. Steffy has been dealing with so much garbage lately. She has Sheila Carter lurking around the shadows. She has her dad Ridge losing his mind over Taylor and Deacon. She has Finn trying to convince her that Sheila has changed. Steffy is stressed. She is at her absolute breaking point. So when she hears about what Ivy has been doing right under her roof at Forrester Creations, oh boy, it is game over. And Steffy does not hold back, not even a little bit, because Steffy is the CEO, and she takes that job very seriously. She has always been the one to protect the family business. She protects the Forrester name, and she protects the people who work for her. So when Elektra exposes this vile, disgusting plot to Steffy, the reaction is immediate. There is no hesitation. There is no family meeting. There is no calling Ridge to ask for his opinion. Steffy just acts. So Steffy marches right into the design room, or wherever Ivy was standing with her smug face, and Steffy just unleashes on her. And, she completely tears Ivy apart, but she doesn't do it quietly behind closed doors. Oh no, she does it right in front of the staff. The interns are there, the designers are there, everyone is watching, and it is glorious, because Ivy needed to be taken down a peg, or 10 pegs. Steffy looks Ivy dead in the eye, and she tells her that what she did wasn't just a betrayal of family. It was a massive violation of professional ethics. Because you cannot have people working in your company who are actively sabotaging each other's personal lives on company time. You just can't. It creates a toxic work environment. And Steffy says this loud and clear. She tells Ivy that Forrester Creations is a place of business. It is a place of art and fashion. It is not a playground for Ivy's sick little manipulative games. And the dialogue here is just so good. Steffy is practically vibrating with anger. She reminds Ivy that Elektra is family. And that manipulating a young woman's heart just to settle some old score with the Spencers is pathetic. And Steffy is right. It is pathetic. Ivy has been walking around like she owns the place, like she is the grand puppet master. But Steffy reminds her who is actually in charge. And Steffy says the words, "We have all been waiting to hear. You are fired." Just like that. Fired. Immediately. Effective right this second. And the whole room just goes dead silent. You could hear a pin drop in that office. Because nobody talks to Ivy like that. But Steffy doesn't care. She tells Ivy to pack her things and get out of the building. And the humiliation on Ivy's face. It was everything. Because Ivy is so proud. She has so much arrogance. She really thought she was untouchable. She thought because she was a Forrester, she could just do whatever she wanted and get away with it. But Steffi showed her that the Forrester name doesn't protect you when you act like a monster. So Ivy has to do the walk of shame. And it is a long walk. She has to get a box, a literal cardboard box. And she has to start putting her things in it, her sketches, her coffee mug, her little desk plants, all while everyone is just staring at her. The whispers, the side eyes. It is the ultimate humiliation, and Ivy is just seething. You can see the anger in her eyes. She is trying to keep her head held high, but she is completely broken. She lost everything in a matter of minutes. She lost her job. She lost her standing in the company. She lost the respect of her peers. And most importantly, she lost Elektra, because Elektra is standing there watching this happen. And Elektra is not defending her. Elektra is just numb, because the aunt she loved is gone, replaced by this bitter, manipulative stranger. And Ivy realizes in that moment that she has completely isolated herself. Her own family has turned their backs on her. But, of course, Ivy is not going to just walk away quietly in her mind. As she is carrying that box to the elevator, she is making vows. She is swearing revenge. She is muttering to herself that she will be back, that she will reclaim what is hers, that Steffi will pay for humiliating her like this. And that is just classic soap opera villain stuff, right? You get fired, you get humiliated, and you swear you will destroy the person who did it to you. So we know this is not the end of the war between Steffi and Ivy. It is just a pause. And speaking of pauses, let's talk about the real reason this is happening. Because there's always a behind-the-scenes reason when a character gets a sudden dramatic exit like this. And the reason is actually really happy news. Ashleigh Brewer, the incredibly talented actress who plays Ivy, is pregnant in real life. Yes. She is expecting a baby, so she needs to go on maternity leave. And that is why the writers had to scramble to find a way to write her off the canvas for a few months. And honestly, I think they handled it perfectly. Because sometimes when an actress gets pregnant, the show just hides them behind giant purses or huge potted plants for 9 months. Or they just have the character go on a really long business trip to Paris, and it is always so boring. But not this time. The writers decided to lean into the drama. They turned Ivy into a full-blown villain. They had her do these terrible things to Elektra. And they built it up to this massive explosive climax where she gets publicly fired and disgraced. So now Ashleigh Brewer can go have her baby. She can take her maternity leave. She can enjoy her time as a new mom. And the show has a perfect built-in storyline for when she is ready to come back. Because we know for a fact that she is coming back. The show has confirmed it. Ashleigh has confirmed it. Ivy Forrester will return to Los Angeles. And when she does it, is going to be absolute chaos. Because think about it. Ivy is going to have months to sit and stew in her anger. She is going to be plotting. She is going to be planning her revenge on Steffi. And maybe even her revenge on Elektra for not standing by her. So when Ivy comes back, she is going to be worse than ever. She's going to be a woman with nothing to lose. And I am so here for it. But for now, we get a break from Ivy. And honestly, I think the other characters need a break too. Because let's look at the damage Ivy left behind. It is a massive mess. First of all, we have Elektra. Elektra is completely devastated. She doesn't know what to do. She was working on this jewelry line with Ivy. They were partners. And now Ivy is gone. The line is in jeopardy. Elektra is questioning everything. She is even thinking about just bowing out of the jewelry line completely. Because every time she looks at those designs, she is going to think about how Ivy betrayed her. And then there is the whole Will and RJ situation. Because Ivy basically fueled that fire. She was the one pushing RJ to go after Elektra. She was the one feeding RJ's ego. And now RJ is completely out of control. We saw him get into that massive physical fight with Will in the showroom. Just shoving each other around like animals. And Ridge had to step in. Carter had to step in. It was a disaster. And Ridge gave RJ this huge lecture. He told him to keep his personal feelings out of the office. He said Forrester Creations is a fashion house, not a boxing ring. But RJ doesn't care. RJ is so entitled right now. He thinks because he is a Forrester, he deserves Elektra. And he's using that against Will. He's constantly slamming Will, comparing him to Bill Spencer, trying to get under his skin. But Will finally snapped. And Will delivered the ultimate insult. He looked right at RJ and said, "You are not even a Forrester." And oh my God, that was a low blow. But it was so necessary. Because RJ needed to be knocked down a peg. Will brought up the whole generational trauma of Ridge's true parentage, reminding RJ that Ridge is technically a Marone, not a biological Forrester. And that just opened up a massive can of worms. So now we have RJ and Will at each other's throats. And Ivy is the one who set this all up. She created this toxic triangle, and now she gets to just walk away and go on maternity leave while everyone else has to clean up her mess. It is wild. And what about Will and Elektra? Are they going to get back together now that the truth is out? Now that Elektra knows Will didn't ignore her letter, now that she knows he didn't throw away her necklace, is she going to forgive him? Because Will wants her back. He has been begging her for another chance. And Melissa Dillon even moved out of the beach house. Dillon made that heartbreaking decision to choose friendship over romance. She packed her bags and left so that Will and Elektra could have a clear path. But is it too late? Because Elektra has been kissing RJ. She has been getting close to RJ. And RJ has been saying all the right things. Even though he's a total jerk to Will, he is sweet to Elektra. So Elektra is torn and she is traumatized. She just found out her whole life for the past few weeks has been a lie orchestrated by her aunt. She might not be in the right headspace to jump back into a relationship with anyone right now. She might just need to be alone. And let's not forget about Daphne. Daphne is the real hero of this story. She risked everything to tell the truth. She went against her husband's advice. Carter told her to stay out of it, but Daphne has a moral compass. She couldn't stand by and watch Elektra suffer, and now Daphne has to deal with the fallout. Because Ivy's definitely going to blame Daphne for getting fired. Ivy's going to hold a grudge, and Daphne is already in a fragile state because of the negative pregnancy test. She thought she was pregnant, she had the symptoms, but it was false. So she is grieving that loss while also dealing with this massive office drama. And Carter is just trying to hold it all together. He is supporting Daphne. He is breaking up fights between RJ and Will. He is basically the glue holding Forrester Creations together right now because everyone else is losing their minds. And then we have the whole Sheila Carter situation happening in the background. Because while Steffy is busy firing Ivy, she is still terrified of Sheila. Sheila is just lurking. She promised Deacon she wouldn't hurt anyone physically. And Finn actually believes her. Finn thinks his mom has changed. But Steffy doesn't buy it for a second. Steffy thinks Sheila is just biding her time. And Steffy is probably right. Because Sheila is now shifting from physical violence to psychological warfare, she is going to try to mess with Taylor and Deacon's heads. She is going to try to prove that their love isn't real. So Steffy has to deal with a sociopathic mother-in-law on one side and a sociopathic cousin on the other side. No wonder she snapped and fired Ivy so brutally. Steffy is just done with the manipulation. She is drawing a hard line. You either respect the family and the business or you are out. And Ivy is out. But I just keep thinking about that walk of shame. I cannot get it out of my head. Just imagine being Ivy Forrester. You grew up with money. You grew up with privilege. You always thought you were better than everyone else. And then you are carrying a cardboard box past the reception desk, past the interns who make coffee. And they are all looking at you with pity and disgust. It is the ultimate fall from grace. And I have to give props to Ashleigh Brewer. Because she played this villain arc so perfectly. She made us hate Ivy. She made us absolutely despise her. And that is the mark of a great soap actress. When you can make the audience scream at their televisions, you are doing your job right. So I am going to miss her while she is on maternity leave. The show is going to be a little less dramatic without her scheming in the background. But I am also so happy for her in real life. Becoming a mom is a beautiful thing, and she deserves this time off. But when she comes back, oh man, the writers better give her an epic return storyline. I want her to come back in a fabulous outfit walking into Forrester Creations like she never left and just dropping a massive bombshell. Maybe she will secretly buy shares in the company. Maybe she will team up with someone like Bill Spencer just to spite the Forresters. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. And what is Ridge going to say about all this? Ridge is always so hypocritical. He lectures RJ about professionalism, but he is probably going to be mad at Steffy for firing Ivy without consulting him. Because Ridge always wants to be the one making the big decisions. But Steffy didn't wait. She acted like a true CEO. She saw a cancer in the company and she cut it out. And I applaud her for that. Steffy has always been my favorite when she's in boss mode. She doesn't take nonsense from anyone. Not from Hope, not from Ivy, not from anybody. And Brooke. Oh, Brooke's gonna love this. Brooke is gonna be so smug that Ivy got fired. because Brooke has been encouraging RJ to go after Elektra, and with Ivy out of the way, Brooke probably thinks RJ has a clear path. But Brooke is also dealing with her own sister drama. She is fighting with Katie over the Logan fashion line. Katie's refusing to drop the Logan name, and Brooke is appalled. So Brooke has her own mess to clean up. It is just chaos everywhere you look on The Bold and the Beautiful right now, and I am loving every single minute of it. The pacing has been incredible. The drama has been top tier. And this firing scene is going to go down in history as one of the best moments of the year. Because it wasn't just a firing, it was an execution. It was Steffy standing up for what is right. It was Elektra finally waking up to the truth. It was Daphne finding her voice. And it was Ivy getting exactly what she deserved. Karma finally caught up to Ivy Forrester. And it hit her like a freight train. So now we just have to wait and see what happens next. Will Elektra stay at Forrester Creations? Will she continue the jewelry line on her own? Or will she pack up and leave too? Will RJ and Will end up killing each other in the showroom? Will Ridge actually do something about his out-of-control son? And will Sheila finally snap and do something crazy to Taylor? There are so many questions. And I will be here to break it all down for you every single day. Because this is what we do. We analyze the drama, we dissect the characters, and we enjoy the ride. But seriously, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Steffy went too far by firing Ivy in front of everyone? Or do you think Ivy deserved the public humiliation? Do you think Elektra should take Will back now that she knows the truth? And are you going to miss Ashleigh Brewer while she's on maternity leave? I want to hear all your thoughts and theories. Because I am still just reeling from that scene. The cardboard box, the walk of shame, the zero remorse. It was soap opera perfection. And I am just so glad Daphne finally opened her mouth. Because if she hadn't, Ivy would still be pulling the strings. Ivy would still be ruining lives. And, Ivy is sitting at home right now, looking at her packed box and plotting. She is not crying. She is not sad. She is angry. And an angry Ivy is a dangerous Ivy. So Steffy better watch her back. Elektra better watch her back. Because when Ivy returns, she is not going to play nice. She is going to play to win. And that is why we love this show. Because the drama never really ends. It just takes a maternity leave and comes back stronger. So congratulations to Ashleigh Brewer on her real-life pregnancy. We wish her the best. And we cannot wait to see her back on our screens causing absolute mayhem at Forrester Creations once again. So that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my rant. Because I just had to get all of this off my chest. It was too much to process alone. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And turn on those notifications so you never miss an update. Because things are moving fast in Los Angeles. And you do not want to miss a single second of the fallout from this massive Forrester Creations shakeup. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay bold and stay beautiful.